Jay says, hi again, Mehran. 37 male Toronto. Hello, Jay. How are you? And you say it's driving me crazy because I cannot seem to put my desire into someone else. It is not about to control a desire from forming. It is not about redirecting it necessarily, and the only way would be to put it into someone else. We need to examine the steps that it takes for desire to be born. And where is the break that you can stop the growth of the desire into turning into what it's supposed to be turning into? How you can stop the steps prerequisites for desire to be formed, how you can interfere in it so the desire will not actually be formed because the steps will not be continued. There are certain steps that takes and comes to play before a desire takes shape. As I explained before on the videos, there are videos that talks about desire, how desire is born. If you just write in the search engine desire, it will tell you. But in short, let me go over it for you. You're in a farm with friends or whatever, there are animals there. And it's like a showroom or show farm for animals, for horses, let's say horses. From the distance, you see a horse, a certain horse that you say, oh, we recognize a horse. Wow, looks nice. Wow. Your eyes connects with that. You recognize from your consciousness that it's a horse, and its pleasing shape and its style of being is the kind of horse that would attract your attention. Let's say you're a show jumper or you're a dressage enthusiast or whatever it is that you do in riding. That's the kind of horse that you see there and attracts you towards it. So you made a connection. Your eyes made a connection. Number one. So you go close now. You go close now, close to the horse, and you start, sensories coming to the picture. The smell. You now smell the environment of the horse and the sound. You hear the sound of breathing of the horse, and your eyes connecting further, more focused and intense. And you go beside the horse now, you touch. You touch. You look at the horse, the mane, the face, certain energy connection, and you touch the horse, you pat the horse. That's the time you begin to form an image of you riding the horse. Let's say you sit on a horse. The horse is saddled for you. It's a show place. So they saddle the horse. You sit on the horse. You don't ride it. You just sit on the horse. And now the image is taking full shape. You imagine yourself on the horse, whether you're on the horse already on the saddle or you just touch the horse, but you begin this process of imagining. An image is formed. Your image of being on the horse and riding the horse and how it feels. You go through parkours, you negotiate fences, jumps, or dressage. You work with the horse. You see yourself doing that. And how the others look at you when you're riding this beautiful horse. And how they judge you about it. Like your friends see you riding on this new horse. And how you look. You imagine all that image. When it's created, the desire is formed. Now you want to buy the horse. Now you want to own the horse. Now you want the horse. Because all these prerequisites, the process took place. Seeing the horse, going close, touching the horse, Same thing if you're in an auto show. From the auto show, you see a car, maybe, I don't know, a green car, a yellow car, a red car. I say, oh, nice car. You go closer. Sensories come, the brand new smell of the car. You touch the door, you open the hood, you look at the engine, the smell of the new engine. You open the door, you're touching now. Sensories come. You sit in the car, behind the wheel, the smell of the new, whatever, the newness of the car. And then you put your hand on the wheel, the image of you driving it. Maybe you feel like you have your girlfriend beside you sitting, and you imagine you're driving in the country or some good road and scenic road, and the sound of the engine. You're now imagining all this. The images come in. How the others will see you when you drive this, how they react when they see you driving this, how you imagine yourself when you're driving. You have that image now of you're driving the car, and you the way you feel, and that's when the image of you driving the car and all these images are created. That's when the desires form. Now you want to buy the car. You want to own it. You want to see how much it is and go further from it. That's the process of desire. But if you stop the process, the stage of creating the image of you driving, of you enjoying, your girlfriend sitting beside you and drying, then her hair is flowing in the air when the window is open, and you driving this scenic road. If you stop the formation of that image, desire is not born. Think about it. So when you feel like the way you feel, when you say, I can't seem to put my desire into someone else, you don't have to put it in someone else. You need to stop the formation of the images that you create in your mind about you and her. The things you can do, you would do, you should have done, you could have done, the things that you did. All those images, when you allow them to elaborate, is when the desire is refreshed. Because when you think about your ex, all the information, all the prerequisites that needed for desire to be born is already recorded in all your memory files. So when you think about her, without really being near her again, without really smelling her or touching her or kissing her or holding her or sharing some interaction with her, sexually or just discussion or whatever, without doing any of that in real actuality now, but they do exist in your memory because you already done it. And those files come up, and because they are files that hit your emotions and remind you and bring about the feelings and the emotions that you had when these things were happening, will seem to you as if all those preludes and prerequisites are happening again. When you are in contact with those emotional files and think of them as if they're happening again, because that's how it would make you feel, because they're emotional files, then you go into thinking all these prerequisites are happening, and the images will continue, and the desire is born again, even though she's not nearby. So you got to avoid allowing these images to actually make you feel as if they are refreshed and they're happening again in actuality, and remind yourself that none of it is happening, and I'm not going to entertain and allow images that benefit me and makes me feel good to take place when these files, prerequisites to desire forming, are called upon and I remember them. So to stop desire is to stop the images that is created with it makes you see how you benefit, how you look, how you feel from enjoying that horse riding or that car, which results you wanting to own that horse, own that car. That's the place that desire stops, is stopped from becoming desire, forming. When you stop the image, from the time that you experience to where you allow the images of you enjoying that car or that horse to form. Stop the image, you stop the desire. All right. I hope that is something that, if you want more information, that there are videos on my channel that talks about this, maybe a little bit further, I think. And also in my book, Me, My Psyche, and I, you will have, I believe I have written, so you look at the table of contents to make sure that it's there. And you probably would have that handy if you have that in your library. All right.